exhalation of air through nostrils.
So I'm having a very busy day. I'm preparing no less than 3 videos all at once about a thing I can't tell you about until tomorrow when the NDA lifts. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, the whole thing, because there's some good stuff coming. But I'm taking a break from that, and I wanted to pop in on the user reviews of Fallout 76 because the Bethesda.net launcher does not have user reviews. So for the year and a half, people have been raging on that game. They've been doing so outside of where people purchase the game. Same is true on the consoles. If you want to play this game on the console for some reason. Why? They don't have user review scores or anything in their session as well. So now that Wastelanders is out, Fallout 76 has come to Steam. Steam does have user reviews. So I wanted to go through this, see what the general community sentiment is like. Content posted in this community may not be appropriate for all ages or may not be appropriate for viewing while at work. No kidding. User reviews. Don't want me again. And also use this as an example of why we can't have nice things. User reviews sound like a great idea. Reviews right from the people playing it, but people don't separate emotion and logic from actual objective review, making these useless. And the whole concept of review bombing, where a community gets together and, thumbs down something or gives it a 1-star review because of some minor issue, either a political opinion that the publisher has expressed, and then they just review from the game that has nothing to do with that. Or
a steady stream of miscreants has been making my life irritating.
All that kind of stuff. These aggregate and community review sites are useless because of how people use them. Fantastic in theory, useless in practicality. Steam is not so bad because you've got various filters to go through with this and you can kind of weed out some useful stuff from time to time. But things like Metacritic, absolutely pointless. Absolutely pointless. Anyone who quotes a Metacritic score for anything is an idiot. I have been playing Fallout 76 a little bit today. Like hour and a half, I think, tops. Played it first thing this morning, I woke up at 3 a.m. because I don't sleep properly, and played a few hours of it and recorded some bits and pieces, which I might use in here as a bit of coverage and things like that. But I wanted to pop in now, after the game's been out for, we'll call it 10 hours since I pressed record, and just have a look at this, because this will be a mix of stuff. There might be a few new players in here, and I did see a few fresh characters in the world. I don't know whether they're existing players restarting from scratch, or if they're genuinely new players trying this out for the first time, or lapsed players who just started a new character. I don't know what it is, but there are free newbie characters roaming the maps right now. So if you are starting out a newbie yourself, don't be afraid. You're not going to be surrounded by high level, 300 level players all of the time and feel sort of pathetic and useless.
Prepare for the future.
But in what I did play this morning, it does feel a lot more Fallout-y. Talking to actual real people, quest givers, and quest change and dialogue choices and everything, it feels a lot more Fallout-y than it ever has done before. And I'm already sort of having fun with it. No idea what it's going to last. Obviously, an hour and a half of the first part of a new DLC is the briefest of exposure to it. But everything I've seen so far is relatively encouraging. I like it so far, and I do want to get back to it this afternoon once I've done all the work I need to get doing in the editor today and upload this and such. But let's see what other people are feeling about this. First one, I've got these rated from most helpful, organized from most helpful, apparently. So private server should be free. It's not wrong. It's just not wrong. There's no argument for having to buy a subscription service just to use private servers on a game like this. This is another one. It's about, private servers. Okay, well, here's our first positive. This should have been the actual release. So they like it, but they're also throwing shade on the game's last 18 months of existence. Not recommended. This person got it for free. I wonder if that shows up if you registered, because if you got the game already on the Bethesda launcher, it unlocks for free on Steam if you've linked your Bethesda account and your Steam account. I think you had to do that beforehand. I don't know if you do it afterwards, whether it still counts or not, but I wonder if that's what that means, or they literally did get a review copy or something. Because I don't think they gave any review copies for Steam version. It seems like an odd thing for Bethesda to do. The game shows everything wrong with Bethesda. Everything! Played this game on the Bethesda launcher, so I got it on Steam for free, and by God, I'm happy to play a few bucks for it. The game is a multiplayer game. Yeah, it's just this is all old stuff. It doesn't seem like it's any. Yeah, this is 2-year-old commentary basically. This has got nothing to do with any of the new stuff. If you're struggling to run the game, switch from borderless full screen to full screen. Yeah. This is advice for every Bethesda game that runs on any version of the engine that Fallout runs on. Fallout and Skyrim, everything. if you run it in borderless full screen, the game just won't run properly. Not recommended. Fallout 76 is a good Fallout 4 mod with AAA. Yeah, more and more old critique. We know this already. Fallout 76 was originally going to be an expansion for Fallout 4, the multiplayer DLC, basically. But then the more they developed it, they say, the bigger and bigger it got. And they went, well, it's so big now, we might as well release it as its own product. We'll spend another year or two working on it. We'll polish it up. We'll make it huge and release it as its own thing because we have too many ideas to squish into what we thought was going to be a moderately sized DLC pack for Fallout 4. That's not new. Be as cynical or as accepting of that story as you like, but this is all old bullshit, not relevant to Wastelanders. This game has gotten a bit better over the years. Well, a year and a half. Still too expensive for what it is. Got it at launch ages ago. Got my free Steam. Yeah, okay. Had this Bethesda launcher, just moved it from Steam. Played it when it first came out. Disliked how empty the world felt. Never went back to it. Now with the latest Wastelands update, it feels more classic Fallout game. Yep, sure does. The game has proved since release. Wastelands brings to PCs new stories. Yes, it's buggy, but I don't understand why people make so many excuses for Bethesda. So I've seen some funny old excuses from hardcore Fallout 76 fans, and there are a few around. There's like 7 or 8 of them. This is how the game should have been on launch day. Yeah, you're not wrong. 1.5 years ago, don't blame the devs for any of this. You can tell corporate Bethesda, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so this is just political ranting. It's got nothing to do with the game itself. This is just ranting and raving at Bethesda and the politics and situations around this game. See, this is why these are useless. This is why we can't have nice things. None of this tells you anything useful about the game. Now it's crazy, despite everything people are saying about this pretty decent game, plagued by lazy, incredibly greedy studio. Here we go again. Games designed to be punished. The player enemies are sponges. Materials are rare. It's a survival game, dickhead. Of course, enemies are sponges. Materials are rare. It's a survival game with crafting mechanics. If they gave you unlimited resources anytime you wanted it, it wouldn't be much of a survival game, would it? I think already you still get too many materials from certain things, not enough of other ones. It needs balancing. Maybe they balanced it with Wastelanders. I don't know. I'm not deep enough to figure it out yet. I remember it being kind of misbalanced, though. 2 years after launch, the game still runs absolutely abysmal. Sure does. Found many problems such as random, blurred off. Yeah, this is all existing old stuff. I guess this is relevant to a new buyer, though, knowing that the game... Yeah, they haven't fixed any of this. Simply put, the game is fun and I enjoy playing it, but at the end of the day, Bethesda are greedy a-holes, blah, 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 more political stuff. This is why we can't have nice things. Imagine if all these were proper reviews of the game. Imagine how useful it would be if every one of these people published a review instead of a rant. It'd be amazing. It'd be such a useful resource. But people can't help themselves. They have no self-control. They just want to scream because they feel like they have no agency. They're angry at Bethesda, and rightly so, but they have no agency to get at Bethesda any other way than to abuse this system. This is not what the system is for, but they have no other way to feel like they're being heard by anybody. That's why we can't have nice things. That's the problem with these user review sites. People have no self-control and they feel like they have no agency unless they abuse this system. Let's talk about Fallout 76, worst game launched this era, blah, yet more. As we know, the games surrounding Bethesda and their recent tactics, shady moves, blah, blah. My experience with Fallout 76, both early and mid-launch, nope. Obsolete, can't even stand to play. Never forget Bethesda's betrayal. Does it even have NPCs now? Does it make the game any less broken or bad? No. Have to play a single player mode, greedy or cash grab? No. This could be much better than it is. Preloaded the game on Steam, excited for Wastelanders, pre-update. Hasn't really changed much. Spent so many hours on this game. Bethesda launcher and it has its issues, but thankfully not many. As it did during the launch. Oh, should have kept reading. Which made me uninstall like 6 times. Yeah, I had to reinstall it a couple of times. And of course, it's nowhere near as good as the previous Fallout games, but I enjoy this one. It's definitely more fun with people than exploring the wasteland together. It's simple, easy, and the new updates have also made it way. See, that's a good review. That's a useful review. Context. It's about the game. It's about the current experience of the game. Good review. Good work, Vampirilla, whoever the hell you are. Tired of this game is absolute trash or this game is amazing, ignore the haters. Yeah, me too. Got lots of that on my last video. This is a new review for you, nice and simple. If you like Fallout 4 and its various features, this game is good. The Wastelanders update breathes some fresh life into it. So far it seems to. I've ran quite a few people out and about and like that. Yeah, they definitely seem more active. Like yesterday when I tried the game as a warm-up for the launch, I think the maps max out at about 20 to 28 players, I think, depending on how many groups there are. There was maybe 5 or 6 on the map at any one time yesterday, except for the nuke event where it seems like a bunch of people got together, and I don't think the map was full then. All 3 different maps I joined today, because I rebooted a couple of times and tried on 2 different machines and tried the Steam version versus Bethesda version. Every time I landed in a map, it seemed like it was full. It seemed like there was at least 20 odd players scattered around the map, which is to be expected. It's day 1 of a brand new DLC. We'll see how long that lasts, though. But they're not wrong. It is fun with other people. It's fun solo, but it's fun with other people. Exactly what the game needed. Still needs some polishing. That'll be true of any Bethesda game ever, no matter how old it is and how many updates it gets, because they never finish. But yeah, in general, it seems like everybody dropping a negative review is doing the review bomber thing. They don't have specific complaints about the game as it stands today or anything like that. It's just politic in general around the game and Bethesda. This is why we can't have nice things. So, if you have been playing the game today, do me a favor, do like a paragraph or 2 in the down below area of a literal review of your day 1 experience, whether it be 5 hours or 10 hours so far, whatever it's been. In my case, an hour and a half. Write specifically about the game. Do like an opening paragraph of a real review. Don't get political on Bethesda. Don't pour hate on them. They deserve it. I'm not saying they don't. They are a scummy company, and Todd Howard is a lying shithead. Should never ever be trusted ever again. But let's take the game on its own merits as it stands now, because to their credit, they never did stop trying to make it better. There's now been 29 updates, I think, maybe 30, including this one, over a year and a half. They've kept trying to make it a thing that they want people to want to play. Just like No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky took 2 years before I considered it worth the asking price in the first place. So I'm willing to give it a go on its own merits without forgiving or condoning what Bethesda has been up to. I want you to try and do the same thing. Do it in the down below. I'm going back to editing. Stay tuned tomorrow. Should be probably 3 videos that will be going up tomorrow. They won't go up all at once. I'll spread them out throughout the day so you're not overflowing. But make sure you ring the bell to make sure YouTube notifies you about that. And thank you to my patrons especially. This will look weird because I'm in a little window here, but then at the end of the video I put myself in a smaller window. Don't say windowception. That's not what the word means.